Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Justin Brook from adskills.com. Today, I'm going to show you a sneak peek tour inside my own ChatGPT account. I'm going to show you everything, how I use it to help me with my health, with my business, my writing, YouTube channel, social media. I'm going to show you exactly the prompts that I use, how I do this. You're going to get a whole tour inside there. You're going to see the workflows that I use as well. So let's jump in and show you that right now. So right now we're looking in, so over on the left-hand side. So any of you who are new, all right, I'm just going to cover this real quick. On the left-hand side, they have this ability where you can click new chat. When you click new chat, that gives you almost like a container, and there's a certain amount of memory in that container. So as long as you keep a conversation in that same container, like right now we're in my health assistant container, and so it will remember things that I tell it inside there. Every once in a while, after the text gets really, really long, after it's like 4,000, 10,000 words, you have to start reminding it of things just like you would a human, right? Humans don't remember everything we tell it. Every once in a while, you got to remind it. So same thing with your AI assistant. You have to remind it of some things every once in a while. So the first thing we do here is we start with pretty typical prompt. You're going to tell it how you want it to act. Then you're going to give it context. I'm telling it you should use your knowledge of exercise science, nutrition advice, and other relevant factors in order to create a suitable plan suitable for them. My first request, this was for me personally, and this is what I love so much about AI as a health advisor, over everything else or over some other options, is for me to get as specific as I wanted this to be. It would cost me a lot of money. Living, a human personal advisor, health advisor would charge me a lot of money to be this granular and this specific. So design a 7-day weight loss meal plan that sticks to Mediterranean diet. That's a diet that I like. If you like keto, carnivore, vegan, whatever, you do you. I like the Mediterranean diet. And make sure that the meals have low caloric density. That just means you can eat a lot. I like the feeling of a full stomach. I like chewing, but I don't want all the calories. And so a low caloric density, example, salads, quinoa, rice, cauliflower. And so it does. It goes through and it gives me meal by meal exact ingredients that I need, how much of the ingredients that I need. And then I then wanted it to break it down by calories. So here we go. It starts telling me, how many calories each of these meals are, because I don't want to have to count it myself. And so it starts. And so here's the thing. It is still a new technology. You still have to check it every once in a while. So like check once in a while and make sure that it's counting the calories correctly. Don't just broadly trust the machine, just as you wouldn't normally broadly trust any human as well. Sometimes we have to fact check some things. So that's what it does here. Then I said, I want you to create a 3 times per week workout plan that burns at least 300 calories each workout and helps me improve my functional movements. So this is getting super specific. Make sure you stick to only the workout equipment that I own for these workout plans. Here's the equipment. I have a rowing machine, treadmill, 25-pound kettlebell, 50-pound sandbag with handles. Include the estimated time you think each workout will take as well. Include how many reps and sets for each workout also. I mean, this is something that you would pay a personal trainer a lot of money for them to write up a whole workout for you, specific to your equipment, specific to the calories you want, specific to your own body movements. And so it gave me a nice circuit to use. Then I said, what did I say here? I said, that's great and almost perfect. Can you repeat this? But this time with no running or sprinting. Walking and lunges are fine, but my knees can't handle running, jumping, and sprinting. And so then it gave me a little bit better of a workout. Okay, so that's just the health one. Then we go into my writing assistant here. We'll scroll all the way up to the top so you can see the original prompt. I want you to act like an advertiser, because when I'm writing, I'm selling something. I'm not like a poet. I'm not just a blogger. Usually when I'm writing, I'm trying to make sales. And so when I ask you to write anything, I want you to write it in a persuasive voice like a marketer would. The goal of anything I ask you to write is to sell something to someone. If you understand, persuade me that you do. And so then that's one of the tests that I like to, and I do that with humans as well. So if I'm saying, hey, here is your job, Can you say that back to me and make me believe that you understand what I've taught you? So same thing. Here's one. Give me 5 ideas for a webinar about online advertising and the target customers, internet business owners who are new to online advertising. And it gave me some great webinar ideas. The beginner's guide to online advertising. I think I like number 3, creating killer ads, how to craft compelling ad copy and design that converts. That's a webinar you would want to watch. That's a webinar I would want to watch. So, I mean, it's really good. I like this one down here too, the future of online advertising, staying ahead of the curve with emerging trends and technologies. Then I said, and this is me, working, write 10 headlines for a newsletter that reveals the advertising tactics of large advertisers so that anyone reading the newsletter can be inspired or get actionable results. I think I went with 9. No, I didn't go with that one. How to create ads that convert. Secret strategies of top advertisers. Yes, I took pieces. I took a piece of this one, and then I took the back piece of this one, uncovering the techniques used by top advertisers. And that's copy we use on our page today. And the page is working quite well. Write me an outline for a 60-minute long webinar for webinar idea number 3. And that's what I mean about it has a memory, right? And so it remembers the idea from the previous conversation up above. And so here it is. It wrote me out everything that I should talk about. And so now all I got to do, throw this on some cards, open up my webinar software, and start talking about all this stuff. And it did a great job. I mean, ad design best practices, tips for creating visually appealing ads, discussion of color theory and how it can be used in ad design, best practices for ad placement and layout, how to use images and videos effectively in ads, examples of ad copy that has been proven to convert, discussion of how to use storytelling in advertising. I mean, these are all things that we really do. I mean, it's quite good. So that's my writing assistant, which is different from my headline assistant, okay? So I wanted one assistant that was like highly trained to just give me headlines, and while my other one is more trained to like give me long form content. And so I use this one. I had other commands in here prior, and so I said, forget all previous commands in this chat session. I want you to act as a persuasive writer. You have 20 plus years experience writing headlines, product names, and book titles, because I suck at that. That's like my one weakness. As much of a writer as I am, I'm horrible at naming things and book titles. You write these for all types of products for free from free to very expensive. Do you understand? If you do understand, let me know by writing it as a headline, okay? And so the headline it wrote to persuade me that it understands, expert headline writer at your service, 20 plus years of crafting persuasive titles for all types of products. That's pretty good. I mean, it nailed that whole thing in just one little headline there. So your first task is to write me 10 clickbait headlines for an article about using AI for conflict resolution. That was an actual article that I was writing for a different website. I've used it for a lot of different things in here. I use it for helping me find domain names. I was on the phone with a friend and we were trying to come up with domain names for the thing that he was doing. And I was like, let's just, we could sit here trying to think of ideas for 30 minutes to an hour, or we could just ask ChatGPT and it's going to spit out 100 of them in 30 seconds, and so came up with a bunch of different domain names. Here's one where I'm using it to teach me how to code. I want to learn how to use Python. Mostly want to learn how to use Python enough so that I can have ChatGPT do the code for me. But if you don't know what to ask it for, sometimes that can be hard. So again, forget all previous commands. I want you to act as a coding tutor. Use your total knowledge of computer science and coding languages, combined with your knowledge of teaching and communication to help me learn how to code. Assume I have no previous knowledge, and when I ask a question, always ask me another question to drill down deeper into my context. Do you understand? And that's one thing. When I'm using it as a tutor, as a teacher, a coach, I always want it to ask me another. When I ask it a question, I want it to ask me another question first to dig deeper into what do I really mean by that. And that helps me. All right, so I said, I want to learn how to code in Python. Where do I start? Great. Python is a great language to start with. Here's a few things you can do to get started. Start showing me how to install it, learn basic syntax. And then I downloaded the macOS version of Python. What do I do next? I have no clue, so I'm literally just like, hey, teacher, what do I do next? And we go through and it teaches me how to do a hello world, and I create my first Python code, and then it starts telling me what tools that I should use. I save my .py file to desktop. How do I open it in terminal so that it explains how to open it in terminal? And so that's as far as I'd gotten with that one. And then I have business coach. And this one, if we go all the way back up, I've had a lot of conversations with this one. I use this one all the time. Forget all previous commands. I want you to act as a business coach. Use all of your knowledge about business to help me answer questions about my own business. So you've got to understand, this thing has passed the Wharton MBA exam. That's like one of the hardest business MBA exams that there is. It's past that. So it's legitimately an MBA, teaching you. So it has knowledge of business theory, strategy, processes. And so I'm asking it to teach you. Your job is to help me answer hard questions, think more strategically, and stay focused on my goal. So it can help you with accountability. It can help you stay focused. It can help you be more strategic, as well as get down to the tactic level as well. I want you to always ask me a question before answering so you can drill down deeper on the context of my questions and tasks. Your first test is to answer the question of whether or not it is smart to be trying to build 3 businesses at a time. And so it then starts going through the conversations with me, asking me about the 3 businesses. And you know what? I ended up selling one of those businesses because of the conversations I was having here. Let me see what else here. Okay, here's a good one. Can you help me conduct a SWOT analysis for Faith Funnels, one of my businesses? Sure, and so then it just started doing it. It started breaking down the strengths, the weaknesses, and this is because I've answered a lot of questions. Like, that's what it first did. It started saying, like, okay, I'll help you. First, tell me about your businesses. So I had to tell it, okay, my business number 1 is named this, my business number 2 is named this, and these are our target market, and this is what we sell, our products. And so, like, I had a very legitimate conversation with it, just like I would with a therapist, just like I would with a coach or a consultant, so that it starts to memorize these things and understand what my business is. And then it's giving me strategies and tactics to start deploy in the market. So yeah, it literally broke down everything for me, threats. Now can you conduct a SWOT analysis for a better prompt? That was the business that I sold. So what should I do based on the SWOT analysis of Faith Funnels and better prompts? It appears that AdSkills.com is currently the strongest business and is generating the most revenue and requires the least amount of your time. Therefore, it would be wise to continue focusing on ad skills while using the revenue generated by the business to fund growth of Faith Funnels and better prompts. It's giving me wise, good information to act on. How would I know if I should close or sell one of these businesses? And this is where we get into, why ended up selling it. We talked about revenue. I have to remind it every once in a while. We just had a whole big, huge conversation. What's this one? We currently have 2 main audiences, small ad. So this is where I'm asking it for, I think it was a strategy. This is what it was. So the new owner of AdSkills wanted to get to 1,000 sales per quarter. And I was like, all right, let's go see if ChatGPT can come up with a plan to get to 1,000 sales per quarter. And so sure enough, we started giving it all the information it needed. And then it started giving us everything that we needed. Can you potential value propositions for ad skills? Please create a sample marketing plan based on my target audience and value proposition. So here's a sample marketing plan to help you reach your goal of 1,000 sales of AdSkills Core Plus. This plan is based on the target audience of small ad agency owners and internet business owners, value proposition number 3 and number 6. And so it said these are the email campaigns we should run, the social media campaigns we should run, the webinars, do influencer marketing, a referral program, and all of these things are being actioned inside of AdSkills right now. So that's the business coach one. Want to move along. I'm going to move along a little bit faster here. This one is my theology coach. This is the one where I ask it a lot of questions about the Bible, Christianity, religion. And so I say, I want you to act as a theologian, use everything you know about the Bible and Christianity to answer my request. Your first test is to give me 30 verses that would help with depression and turn them into a 30-day reading plan. I'm not depressed. It's not me, but I was trying to see how well it would do. And so, just for example, day 1, Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That's a good verse. If you're depressed, if you're feeling down, that's a good line to read, And so it goes through and gives me 30 of them. And then, sometimes it doesn't finish all the way, so it stopped at day 18. It can only write so long before it gets kind of tired. And when it does, you just say, please continue, finish where you left off. I do like to say please and thank you. I just like to be kind in manners. I don't think it's going to save me from doom one day, but I think it's polite. It's how I would talk to a human. Help me understand the meaning of Romans 8 and why it's so important. And so it breaks it down, really nails it. And then the other thing is I started checking this with pastors, with theologians, with authors, and be like, hey, this is what AI is telling me about this. How do you feel about this? And they're like, that's really good. I mean, it really nailed the points. Maybe I'd add this or that, but yeah, it's accurate. Help me understand how I can be assured that I'm going to heaven. Really good answer that I was sharing on social media. What does sanctification mean? What are some of the examples of real life application? This is an advanced topic. This is a hard topic for most humans to talk about. And so it's like sanctification is a term in Christian theology that refers to the process of becoming more and more like Jesus Christ. It's ongoing transformation of a person's life as they become more holy and set apart for God's purposes. It's a lifelong process. Here are some real life examples: renewing of the mind, cultivating a deeper prayer life, serving others, living a life of obedience, fleeing from sin. So really good answers. So that's the theology coach. Now I'm going to go top down. I might actually have to refresh. This one I use to help me come up with ideas. What am I going to blog about? What am I going to make my next YouTube video about? What am I making my next social media post is about? And so please ignore all previous instructions. I want you to respond only in language English. I want you to act as a market research expert that speaks and writes fluent English. I got this one from a plugin that I use called AI PRM. And, it just creates this stuff. And so this plugin, I don't have it turned on right now because it kind of takes over my screen a little bit, but it's a plugin you can use and it's got a lot of prompts built into it. And so I literally just clicked a button. I gave it my keywords and then it started spitting out this information. And so I think the keywords that I gave it was, right here. It asked me, what is the audience? So I said startups. And then it said, what is the keyword that they want to know about? And I said Google Ads. Okay. So then what it did is it came up with a bunch of ideas, of content that I could create for startups that want to learn about Google Ads. How can I create effective Google ad campaign for my startup? What are some best practices for optimizing Google Ads campaigns for startups? It gives me example blog post titles. It gives me subheadings to use in that blog post to make sure I'm covering everything. So it's doing a lot of the initial thought work for me, and then I can go out and write it myself. There's also, if you're using the AI PRM plugin, you can actually go and find an article that you like about this subject, and then you can give it that article, and it will rewrite an article. No plagiarism. It looks at that article and says, okay, I understand what this article is about and everything that it's covering. I'll go and rewrite you an article just like this one if you want it to do all the writing for you. I like writing. I enjoy it. I really just need to come up with ideas and outlines for me. And so that's really this whole thread here is just coming up with more and more ideas for me. Again, here's where it broke down. Continue writing, please. So it went through idea number 7 through 10. And then here's another one, do another one. And that's kind of, once you have the prompt in there, you like do it again, do another one, create another one. You can just get it to keep doing that same thing. So do another one, but this time audience is Christians, keyword is start a business. So I wanted to know for faith loans, what are some blog posts that I could write for Christians who are looking to start a business? So here we go. What are some unique challenges that Christians face when starting a business? Here's some ideas. Faith-based entrepreneurship, navigating unique challenges as a Christian business owner, overcoming obstacles, how to start and grow a business as a Christian, some things to include, balancing business goals with Christian values, facing potential discrimination or backlash, overcoming feelings of guilt or imposter syndrome, great things to add into there. And it just does this for 10 more ideas, flushing out all the ideas. This one is my keyword research assistant. And again, this is another mega prompt that I get from AI PRM. And I literally just tell it what keyword. So the keyword was Google Ads course. So that's the only information I gave it. And then it just did it for me. And so it does this prompt. I click keyword research in AI PRM. It asks me what keyword I want to research. So I typed in my keyword Google Ads course, and then it spits out this table of other keywords titles, meta description, search intent, keyword clusters. If you understand SEO, you understand this stuff. And then, what I did is I just go, all right, make another one for Facebook ads course, and make another one for YouTube ads course. And so ended up coming up with 72 keywords, because there's this concept of topical authority in SEO, that if you just have a lot of the common questions that people are asking, Google there's a ranking boost just for topical authority, because it's like, oh, well, a lot of the questions that I'm getting, I can just come to this one place for, and I can start ranking it just for this one. So if you do a good job writing quality information, not just spitting out copy paste and stuff, but quality information on these keywords, then you can start ranking. And so we came up with 72 keywords. We're going to push those all out within the span of a month. It's about 2 articles a day. But yeah, in the next 30 days, we will have 72 new blog posts written. Here's, I did it again for Twitter ads course. So this one, I was doing a presentation and I was teaching people about email marketing, and I wanted to just make sure that I cover everything. And so I said, I want you to act as a business coach. Your specialty is teaching the simplest methods of popular business tactics and strategies. You are great at teaching very complex topics to absolute newbies. It was a newbie crowd that I was teaching to, and I wanted to make sure that I modified my knowledge for them. Remember to focus on the simplest methods. And so here's email marketing made simple. And then it covered everything that I should teach them. And so I did that. I want to learn how to make a documentary. I want to start creating documentaries or short documentaries as my YouTube videos. And so I told them I want you to act as a documentary filmmaker. You have 30 years experience researching, planning, scripting, filming, editing, promoting documentaries. Use your total knowledge of storytelling, filmmaking, writing, and video editing to help me create my own documentaries. If you understand, give me a title of a documentary that proves that you understand the task. So here it goes. It's starting to teach me about documentaries, topic selection, story development. Can you please create a detailed outline for a documentary about signs and wonders of the Bible still existing today? And so here we go. This is something I want to start working on. Here's another one mostly for my Twitter account. I know that people that follow me on Twitter are really into like morning routines. And so I said, do you know the daily morning routines of famous entrepreneurs? And so we go into Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Arianna Huffington. You have to fact check these things. And basically it's just, it knows this information's out there from interviews and blog posts and social media stuff. And so it's showing me the morning routines of these people. And I turn these into Twitter threads. Please write me a 1,200-word riveting article about the morning routines of famous entrepreneurs and inventors of the past. Make sure you use common English slang. This is important. This is how I get it to create human look like human content, how to pass all the AI detection tools. Make sure to use common English slang phrases in a friendly voice while being confident and informative, okay? And so the friendly voice and common English slang phrases really helps me create something that is something that sounds more like a human wrote it than an institutional or a robot wrote it. So yeah, it's writing out this article for me, giving me a bunch of information. Here I had it create a game, and I actually played a game with it. So this was like a multiple choice game. I want you to act as a chatbot for a text-based roguelike game that is about a young man trying to start an internet business in his mother's basement. You will ask me multiple choice questions. When I choose an option, you'll then describe what happens in the game, blah, blah, blah. There are player traps in this game, distraction and procrastination. Do you understand? So it starts painting the story. It starts telling me the story. Day 1 gives me these 4 options. I chose option A. It says, okay, day 2, great choice. You spent the day researching and have chosen a profitable niche. What do you do next? I said A. B. I went through it and played the whole game, and I ended up winning. I started my business and got customers down here somewhere. It took me about an hour to go through and answer all the questions and play this game with it. Day 30, congratulations. You've successfully created a website that converts visitors into customers within 30 days. You've earned a well-deserved break. So it can tell jokes. It can play games. You just have to ask it. Let's see, here's other stuff. I was just helping friends. This was somebody who has a nutritional product, and they needed help coming up with their customer avatar. So I asked it, to come up with a customer avatar for a nutritional product to help women who want to lose weight. And so it came up with a customer avatar. And then we said, I want you to create an empathy map as well. And so it created an empathy map. So it did all the market research for this friend of mine. I was creating a bartering community, and so it came up with names. And I think the name that I actually chose was in here. I think it was Trade Tribe. Yeah, right here. So it came up with Trade Tribe Town, and I didn't love adding the town on there, but I ended up calling the new community called Trade Tribe. So yeah, just use it to come up with it. Here, I was trying to get it to, there's a viral song that came out. There's some expletives in this song. Forgive me for that. Tell me the meaning of these song lyrics and tell me the meaning of these song lyrics and who the characters are referring to. And then I had a discussion with it about the characters in there. Here's another one where I was helping a solar client trying to get market data about the solar client. So it helped me come up with a customer avatar and an empathy map and like the benefits of buying solar and all that stuff. All right, finishing up. This one helps me write prompts. I want you to act as a prompt engineer. Helps me come up with my own mega prompts so that I can get it to do even more stuff. You have years of experience writing highly detailed and elaborate prompts for ChatGPT. Use your total knowledge of prompt engineering to help me write prompt templates that I can give to others. A prompt template means that it includes the whole prompt with just a few details and brackets that need to be changed to give ChatGPT all the details it needs to execute the prompt. For example, here's a prompt template for creating a course. Give it that. And then as a prompt engineer, my role is to help you. And so it explains, please write me a prompt template for creating YouTube videos. The user should only have to enter a keyword and they want the subject of the YouTube video to be about, then the prompt should output 10 highly click-worthy YouTube titles, a description of what the YouTube thumbnail should look like, an outline of the video content, 800-word video script, and 1 paragraph description of the YouTube. So everything you need to create a YouTube video is in this prompt. And so it writes out the prompt that I should use. And I do, I just copy and paste that in, and it will, all I have to do is change out the keyword right here. YouTube user specified keyword. Once I change out the keyword, it will then give me all the titles, description, thumbnail, all that stuff. Here's my YouTube assistant. And then I think we're just about done. So my YouTube assistant is, I wanted to help me write better YouTube titles. And so that's really all it does. Here are some incredibly clickable YouTube titles using the formula relevant, benefit, plus curiosity to grab viewers' attention and increase click-through rates. Unlocking the secret to blank. You won't believe what we found. Write 7 YouTube titles for a video about the different internet business models. And so that's all this does is when I'm making a YouTube video or a blog post, it comes up with YouTube titles for me. Finally, my social media assistant. This one, and these are all like little mini employees that are working for me, and so I want you to act as a social media manager. Here's my audience, the goal. And so, yeah, it starts giving me, here's a plan for a long form Facebook post about using data science in digital marketing. And so, so I get a lot of my ideas from here. It gives me the outlines. It gives me, you should cover this, you should cover that. It gives me a lot of the points. And then I go and write it myself. And I'll often use big blocks of what it's come up with as well. Here's one, explain what data science is and use a real life example of how it can apply to increasing profits on a Facebook ad campaign. I needed more ideas of how this would work. Explain the 6 steps of data science to a 5th grader. And so it broke those down. I wanted to make sure that I understood the 6 steps, but I wanted to make sure that when I write this in my post, that it would be understandable to anyone. And so I use it to write blocks of stuff. I often don't use it to write everything that I want to post on there. And that's all of the different threads that I have in my ChatGPT account. That shows you how I've been using it, what I use it for, why I do it the way that I do. Hopefully give you some ideas on how you could use ChatGPT in your business, in your job, in your life, because you can use it to create recipes. You can literally tell it, here's what I have in my cabinets in my refrigerator. Come up with a recipe for me to eat tonight, and you can just do that. You can use it for grocery shopping lists. You can use it for all kinds of life things. You can use it to help write cool stories to read your children at night. You can use it to come up with more dad jokes and bother your kids in the car while you're on a road trip like I do. There's so many things that you could do. Hopefully you found some great ideas. I'm Justin Burke from Ad Skills. I'll see you later.